Hello and welcome back to Music Mitra. This is Bindu Nai here, and this is the channel where we learn Carnatic music, the concepts, the raga system, etc. in a very easy to understand manner, so all of you can learn more about this art form. Today's topic is Hindustani music and Carnatic music. As you know, there are two different classical music styles of India. One is known as Hindustani music and one is known as Carnatic music. Both are classical music. Both are Shastriya Sangeetams. Now, what is similar and what is different among these two art forms? That is the topic of discussion today. So, if you are interested in this topic, then let's get started. By the way, if you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe. You will get a lot of information about Indian classical music, which will help you understand it better. Okay, so let us come to the main point. What is similar? Let's go to that first. Okay, what is similar? Origins are similar. Both systems originated from the same source. Indian music is believed to have originated from the Vedas. Actually, the Samaveda, the way it was structured, the reciting of the verses of Samaveda was structured in a systematic musical manner, and that is considered to be the origin of music in India. So, Samaveda is considered the origin of all types of music in India. So, definitely, they are born from the same source. And the best part is, till about 12th century, there was only one system of music in India. Whether it was north, south, the entire Indian subcontinent had developed a structured classical music system. But what happened was, we had the Turkish rulers coming in. You would have heard of the Delhi Sultanate, right? So you had these Muslim rulers who came much before the Mughals itself. We only think of Mughal dynasty, but there were different other dynasties before that. From 12th century, you would have heard of the Khilji dynasty, the Lodi dynasty. All these were Muslim rulers of Turkish origin who came to India and settled down, keeping Delhi as the base, and spread around the entire North India. The Muslim rulers started ruling, and from then what happened is the influence of Persian music, the influence of Arabic music started coming into our own music. And then slowly transformation started happening culturally. Also, there was a lot of differences, right? So the North Indian part started developing in a different way with the influence of the Arabic music or the Persian music, and slowly developed into what we know today as Hindustani classical music. Whereas in South, the South Indian music also developed parallelly, but without the influence of the Persian and Arabic systems of music. So this was more into the traditional Indian music, but it kept developing with the Bhakti movement. So when the North Indian music developed through the Muslim rulers, patronage of the Muslim rulers, later on even the Mughals, we would have heard of Tansen and all those stories, it developed. But in South India, it again developed through the Bhakti movement. That is the Haridasas. So you would have heard of names like Kanakadasa, Purandaradasa, or saints who sang praises of gods through the medium of music, who spread the bhakti concept to people through music. So both developed, but in a different way. So they were together until a certain point, and then they took two different paths. So that is the first point. The origin is the same. Then the next similarity is If you see the ancient textbooks that we consider the treatises of Indian music, we start from Natya Shastra, Sangeeta Ratnakara, all these treatises that were written in Sanskrit way back, all are referring to Indian music. So when we talk of Carnatic or Hindustani, our ancient texts remain the same. So we still use the same notes. We have the 12 swaras that we use, that means 7 swaras, and out of them 5 of them having 2 variants. And so the North Indian system and the South Indian system use the same 12 notes, and they both have the raga system through which, so these are the similarities that I'm talking about. So we have the same ancient text that we refer to when it comes to understanding the origin and the concepts, and then we have the 12 notes, that is again similar, and both the systems have the Guru Shishya Parampara. So student is trained as an apprentice to a guru, and that is how the system continued in both the styles of music. So somewhere here the similarities will stop. Now I'm going to the differences. Okay, now though we have the same 7 swaras, the way we pronounce the swaras are different. If you see, they say sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. In Hindustani we'll say sa re ga ma. In Carnatic, so there is a difference. In Hindustani, even the pronunciation of the swaras can be slightly different. When we say in Carnatic sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, Hindustani system will use sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. That is one. If just the pronunciation itself can be different. Then in the 12 swaras when we are talking about, we call the swaras by different names. And Carnatic system calls a note Shuddha note, a Shuddha Rishabham, a Shuddha Gandharam. It's not the same Shuddha Rishabh or Shuddha Gandhar of Hindustani. There is a difference. The names of the notes are also different. Though there is a small and a big variant for each note, but the names are not the same. So when you hear the name, it could be meaning one in Hindustani music, and it could be meaning totally different note in Carnatic music. So the names itself are different in the swaras. Then comes to, we said both are based on ragas, right? Both system is raga based music. In Hindustani, there is a concept of thought. 10 thoughts or main ragas are 10, out of which they say raginis. So raga ragini system also. That means a main raga which is considered like a male, and then the others connected ragas to that, minor ragas to that raga is known as ragini. Means it's like depicted like the consort of that main raga, So yes, sometimes 6 different raginis are there for each raga. So they have the thought system, like it's a family of ragas grouped together. Whereas in Carnatic, there are 72 Melakarta ragas. Though they are structured in groups of 6, we cannot call that a family, because each raga is different from the other. 6 ragas, they are in the same chakra, but they do not form a family. Family is totally different here. So we have the same ragas, but it is structured in a different way. We have the 72 Melakarta in Carnatic, whereas in Hindustani, there is the thought system and there are 10 thoughts. Even raga names for that matter. You might hear a Bhairav or Bhairavi. In Carnatic music, that's a totally different raga. Hindustani, that's a totally different raga, though the name is the same. You understood? Whereas there are corresponding ragas also. Like what we call as Maya Malavagaula in Carnatic is known as Bhairav in Hindustani. Same way Chakravakam is called Ahir Bhairav. Same way Hindolam is called Malkons. And Mohanam is called Bhoop. So there are ragas which are corresponding scales. But when you hear it, you will not find that they are very similar. though the scale is the same. Now this is where the next difference comes. How you handle the ornamentation of the swaras. Now as you know, swaras when sung plain, it's just a scale, but that does not form a raga. A raga is formed by the usage of these notes in a certain way, using embellishments or adornments. You decorate the swaras, right? In Carnatic we call it gamaka. In Hindustani also, I think the term uses gamak only, but the style of gamak is totally different. In Hindustani, they call it meend. That is a soft transition from one note to the other. Whereas in Carnatic, we have kampita gamaka. Kampita gamakas are more intense movement between notes. So we touch upon 2-3 notes at a time to give that effect or ornamentation for one note. I will show that with an example. We will take the ragam Kalyani in Carnatic, which is a raga with lot of gamakas. So how you treat each note? Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. See how we do sa re ga ma pa. So this is called kampita gamaka. We are giving a lot of, when I say re, I'm saying gari. So we're touching the upper note and coming down. Whereas the similar ragam in Hindustani is called Yaman. In Yaman, see, they will just glide through the notes. Ne re ga ma da ni. So see, it is so soft. So it is a very soft handling of the movement which adorn the note. So this itself makes the style totally different. So there is no fast moving movements within that note. Whereas in Carnatic, there is a lot of emphasis on structured gamakas. Actually, Dashavida gamakas. We have 10 gamakas. And each one is different. So we some of the ragas even use this type of gamaka, but we have much more usage of these complicated movements between notes. Now in Hindustani music, there is a lot of importance on improvisation and elaborating a raga right from early stages of learning. Because there, in Hindustani, the importance is more to the raga than the composition. The raga dominates the composition, and the singer has a lot of flexibility to improvise on ragas with their own variations. That is why the gharana system formed, because each guru would have his own style of dealing with a raga, and due to that, the gharana system, you would have heard of the different gharanas. Why? Because of this, the style of singing. Each raga is handled in a different way by different gharana, and the students of that gharana execute the ragas in the same way. Whereas in Carnatic, the improvisation is there, but it's already structured and given to us at 72 melakartas. We have the different variation, whatever improvisation can be done on the 12 notes has been done. Actually, we have even added another 4 vivadi notes within the 12 swarasthana system, and we have actually 16 swaras within the 12 points, the 12 notes, but we have 16 notes that can be placed within the 12 frequencies. So the music is more composition centric in Carnatic. Compositions have a lot of importance, and the theme also is mostly bhakti. All the Carnatic composition, 99% revolves around devotion to a deity the composer is praying to. Whereas in Hindustani, there could be, bhajans and other things. But if you see the tumris and the ghazals, etc. Khayals. That is the compositional forms of Hindustani, whereas in Carnatic we have Varnams, Kritis, Kirtanas, Tillanas, Javalis. So 90% of, or more than 99%, the theme will be devotional or philosophical. So there is not much of Nayaki, Nayaka except in Javali, whereas in Hindustani there's a lot of that theme also used. Romantic theme, other non-devotional theme is also used in Hindustani. So that is another major category of differences that we can look at. Then there is the timing system. Hindustani system adheres to the time of ragas because of the raga ragini system. Like there are certain morning ragas which are sung only in the morning, and evening ragas. Though in Carnatic also, because we follow the same text, there is this concept, but it is not adhered to the way it is adhered to in Hindustani. We are a little more flexible here with respect to the timing of the ragas. So this is another difference that I would talk about between Hindustani and Carnatic music. When it comes to talas, both systems have systematic calibration of the compositions into tala. Okay, that means metering of the tempo of the song, and the length of the song is metered. Now the different tals that are used in Hindustani, like teen tal or jhap tal, etc. Whereas the counts, like for example in Hindustani, Rupak has 7 counts, whereas in Carnatic, Rupaka Talam has 6 counts. So again, when we talked about the swara names, when we talk about Tala names also, if you say Rupak, doesn't mean the same in both the systems. It is totally different. So the Tala system is totally different, whereas in Carnatic we have the 7 Suladi Sapta Talas, and which have 5 variants. So we have 35 talas that can be sung in 5 different gatis. So it goes to 135 talas are there, 100 plus talas are there, and then you have the chapu talas also, unequal talas, odd number talas. So the talas are more complex in Carnatic, I would say, compared to Hindustani, and the tala is controlled by the singer himself or herself with the waving of the hand and the counting on his or her lap, unlike Hindustani where there is a tabla. Tabalchi keeps the tala control. Here though we have mridangam, but the main tala is also controlled by the singer with his or her hand. So the understanding of each of the mathematical aspects of tala and demonstrating it on the hand is also very crucial in Carnatic music. Then we come to instruments used, right? This is very obvious, but still I would, though both systems use the tanpura as the drone instrument for Shruti, but when it comes to the instruments that play this type of music, violin I can say is the only common instrument which plays both Hindustani and Carnatic. Otherwise it's a total different. You will see santur, sarod, those kind of instruments, bansuri, harmonium for Hindustani. Whereas in South India we have the veena, the violin, the jaltarang, so many different instruments that are used for playing the music. When it comes to accompanying music for the rhythm, we have percussion, there is tabla in Hindustani, and here we have the mridangam, we have the ghatam, we have the kanjira, we have the morsing. They are all percussion instruments of Carnatic music. And of course flute is all I forgot to mention when we said veena, violin, flute, mandolin, all these are Carnatic music instruments. So this is how the difference of both the Carnatic versus Hindustani music, from my understanding, this is what I just thought I'll have a discussion on this, because many people have this confusion. between these two art forms. When they hear, no, I didn't hear this like this rag sounded like this. No, but that's not the rag we are referring to. This is a different rag. And also, a very important difference is, we start with Maya Malava Gaula as our basic training raga. And we stick to that for a good 1 year plus till we learn all the possible alankaras and the varishes and everything before we go to other ragas in simple compositional form, Geetam, then go to little more complex Varnam. So I told you this is compositional base. So we go from simple composition to complex composition in a very structured manner. Whereas in Hindustani, a raga exploration is taught right from beginning, and different ragas are explored in the beginning stage itself, unlike Carnatic. So it's little more rigid. Carnatic is more a rigid system of training, but both art forms need a lot of practice, a lot of dedication, consistency to practice, dedicated practice, both, because any classical art form for that matter needs that kind of intense involvement with the art form to understand it, to practice it, to teach it. So I hope this discussion about Indian classical music, Hindustani music versus Carnatic music was of use to you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video. Do let me know in the comments below if you have any other points to mention about the differences or the similarities between the two art forms. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye.